Okay, so hi everyone, and welcome to another live session from the series Engineering Qualification Validation in Australia. And in this live session, session number 90, that I hold every week, now obviously on Sundays, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time, I will be talking about 6 practical examples of the CPD, the Continuing Professional Development, which is one of the steps necessary for your engineering qualification validation here in Australia. But first, for those that don't know me, my name is Gerson. I'm the founder of www.engineersinaustralia.com, a website to share content of value and useful information to help you in your journey to validate your engineering qualification in Australia. And also I share many other information about engineering, about subjects that are related to engineering, and also I've got a special series that is called How to Get Your First Professional Job in Australia as well, where I record videos, I do live sessions and giving a lot of hints and tips to improve your chances to get your professional job here in Australia. And if you haven't joined my Telegram group yet, Telegram is like a WhatsApp. It's an app, it's a messaging app that you can join the group. And in this group, I usually share audios, videos, posts, content about many things. And I've got more than 785 people in the group. So if you haven't joined yet, first you gotta certainly download the app, and second you gotta I'm just going to copy and paste the link in YouTube and Facebook. So you gotta download the app, Telegram app, and then you can click on this link. Those ones on Instagram, you can go to my bio, the link in my bio. It will open up a few buttons after you click, and then one of the buttons is for you to join my Telegram group. So if you haven't joined yet, I welcome you guys to join. And the PDF that I'm going to prepare, I'm going to post in my Telegram group. And also, just to share with you that next month in April, I'm going to hold another free online workshop, the Engineering Qualification Validation Workshop. So it's going to start on the 11th of April, 10 a.m. Brisbane time. And the link that I just pasted in Facebook and YouTube is for you to register to this free event. Those ones on Instagram, if you want to participate in the free online workshop next month, 11th of April, you can go to the link in my bio, and then once you click on that link, one of the buttons, I think the first one, is for you to register to the free workshop. Okay, so let's get down to the business now, and I'm really happy to be here to share my experience in the engineering qualification validation process. And tonight we're going to talk about CPD, Continuing Professional Development. And the first thing that I would like to share with you is why is it important, the CPD, Continuing Professional Development? Well, one, it is important because it's a requirement from Engineers Australia for you to present as one of the reports to present your CPD. So the continuing professional development is how we keep ourselves up to date in our engineering field after graduation. So this is really important. Events that you can record as part of your CPD needs to be after your graduation. So I receive a lot of questions, Gerson, but when I was studying, I did this course, or I participated in this workshop. Can I use those in my CPD? And unfortunately, the answer is no. You cannot use those events in your CPD before graduation. Perhaps if you did whatever studies or other things, you can perhaps use in your career episodes. But in your CPD, your continuing professional development, is just after your graduation. And every relevant CPD event must be included in your CDR application, your competency demonstration report application. And it should be presented in a list. So the format that Engineers Australia, they will ask you, or they are asking you to fill out, is in a list format with pretty much 5 columns. So the title, the date, the duration, the venue, and the organizer. So fairly straightforward. You can do either in a Word document or you can do in an Excel, but just with those 5 columns: title, date, duration, venue, and organizer. A lot of people, they ask me as well, Gerson, do we need to put what did we learn in that event, or what was the objective of that event? In this particular case, during the validation process, you don't need to include those sort of details. Once you are validated and then you register to the online CPD records in the Engineers Australia website, then there is a field that you will need to record what did you learn, what did you get from that event. But for the validation process, pretty much title, date, duration, venue, and organizer. So one example, it could be if you did, for example, an air conditioning refrigeration course. Let's say that you're a mechanical engineer or you work with air conditioning. If you did an air conditioning refrigeration course on, let's say, 6th of July 2019 with a duration of 5 hours at Senai. So the title would be air conditioning refrigeration course. The date would be the 6th of July 2019. The duration would be 5 hours. The venue, well, wherever you did, let's say that in my hometown, Curitiba, Senai Curitiba, let's say. And who was the organizer? If Senai was the organizer, you can put the Senai. If it was another company, then you put the name of that company. So it's very simple. Just one A4 page in a list format. So in the title, I said that I was going to give you guys 6 practical examples. So, and what sort of types of CPD can we include in this list? What sort of events are they classified as part of the CPD? And if you have any question, please put in the comments if you have any questions about your CPD. If you have a CPD event that you would like to ask, Gerson, I did this, can I use as part of the CPD? Put in the comments, and I'll in the middle of the live today, I'm going to just check the questions, and then if is there any question, I'll be answering. So the first practical example are post-graduation courses. So any of the courses that you did after your graduation, it could be, let's say, specialization, it could be a graduate certificate or a graduate diploma, it could even be a master's degree. So for example, and I'm going to use my example, I've completed a specialization course in planning and construction at the Gifu Prefecture Planning and Design Center in Japan between May 1997 and March 1998. So that is obviously considering the 5 columns that we need to include in the CPD: title, date, duration, venue, and organizer. So the first practical example are the types of post-graduation courses that you completed. Example number 2, it could be conferences that you've attended as a participant or a presenter. For example, let's say that you've presented a white paper called 5S program as the basis for lean manufacturing at the 4th International Congress for Industrial Engineering Development between 30th of May and 1st of June in 2017 at Unisociesc in Joinville. So again, title. So the title is 5S program as the basis for lean manufacturing. The date, 30th of May and 1st of June 2017. The duration, obviously, 2 days. And the venue was at in Joinville, and the organizer was Unisociesc. So that's just an example. Example number 3, the type is other courses, short courses. It could be also workshops, seminars, discussion groups, technical inspections, technical visits, and technical meetings that you've attended. So that is pretty much the third type of CPD that you could record. So for example, let's say that you've carried out a technical visit in an electricity power substation to inspect the oil insulation of a hermetic transformer immersed in mineral oil on the 6th of June 2019 with 2 hours of duration. So let's say that in this case you are an electrical engineer and then you carried out this technical visit. So you can use that experience as part of your CPD as well. Yeah, Gerson, but how do I prove that I did that? Well, there are a few ways that you can do. If you ended up having any records from that visit, pictures or photos, or perhaps a calendar entry that you still have in your calendar. Engineers Australia will probably not going to ask you to demonstrate or to prove that experience, but you never know. They could be auditing your CPD and they could ask you to produce the evidences of that CPD event. So obviously, I don't encourage you guys to make up or to lie, obviously, just to kind of get your CPD very nice, because potentially Engineers Australia could ask you to produce evidences of that CPD. So I'm going to show you how the PDF is taking shape. So yeah, the PDF is like that. Just going to double check if the sound is still good, because I changed to another view now with the word. So I hope that you guys can still hear me. And also there's a little bit of delay, so until I can kind of check until it comes in the live session, there is a little bit of delay. Yeah, so there was a lot of delay. Now I can see that the Word document went to the screen. Yes. And I can see that you guys can see my Word. So the PDF that I'm going to produce is going to be from here. So as you can see, 6 practical examples of the CPD, Continuing Professional Development. And I'm going to give those 6 practical examples. And what I'm going to do, I will produce a PDF. And as usual, for my students from my online mentoring program, I'm going to place in the VIP group. So I can see that at least there is 1 or 2 students watching my live session. So in your case, in our VIP group, I'm going to post this PDF without password, and without any other condition. But then for those ones that are not my students, obviously my students are my students, they're very special, so I've got a special treatment for them. But for everybody else, I can still produce a PDF. And what I'm going to do, as usual, I'm going to take a picture of this page, and I'm going to post in my Instagram. So, and then I will be asking in the comments for you to write down in the comments one CPD event that you are going to use. So you need to like the post and write the answer of this in the comments, so I can get some engagement in my Instagram post. I prepared this PDF and I prepared this live session. I spent a lot of time, and the content is obviously for free. So the minimum that I can ask you guys is to ask for some engagement. I would like you guys to like my post and make comments. If you do, I will then produce the PDF, and I'm going to post in my Telegram group. So if you are part of my Telegram group, you can then download. If you're not part of the Telegram, too bad, you can't download. But also, the PDF is going to be protected by a password. And I'm going to release the 2 halves of the password during the live. So the first half of the password is going to be all in small letters. Is going to be professional. So professional is the first half of the password. So what I'm going to do to give you guys a little bit more time, I'm actually going to take a picture of this, and I'm going to do the post now, so you guys can kind of have a look. I'm just going to probably use this other post here. Just a picture of the question there. And then I'm going to post in my Instagram. Just bear with me. So next, I'm going to put CPD and the question. Not questions, is an asking. Write down in the comments one CPD event you are going to use. Please. Okay, and share. So I'm sharing now. Yes, it is in my Instagram. So what you need to do, if you want this PDF, of course, is to like the post and then write in the comments one CPD event that you are going to use. So I will check until probably, I'll give you guys until tomorrow morning, so you guys can have a think about, and then like and write in the comments. If I have engagements, if I have likes and comments, I will prepare the PDF and I'm going to post in the Telegram. If I don't, too bad. I'm just going to post in my VIP group with to my students. So it's getting there. What's important? CPD. And then example number 1, example number 2, and example number 3. And example number 4 is about preparation and presentation of material for courses, conferences, seminars, or symposiums. So for example, and this presentation doesn't really need to be like an official course. This presentation could be even a technical meeting that you did in your company, and then you were presenting a technical content to other engineers or to other people. The important thing is that the content was technical. So for example, If you work in a company that does street lighting installation and you prepare the material and present to fellow engineers to demonstrate the technical specifications and benefits in replacing mercury luminaires by LED luminaires. On a such day, let's say today, the 14th of March 2021, and you invested 3 hours between the preparation of the material and the presentation of that material to other colleagues. So if you did that, you can still use that experience as part of your CPD. Example number 5, engineering profession services. Mostly they are volunteer work, mentorship, participation in committees or boards as well. So for example, when I do my voluntary participation with Engineers Australia in interview panels, and also even today, I think it was 2 months ago, I was asked by one engineer to be an industry peer review. So he's trying to become a chartered professional engineer here in Australia. And part of the process is to have industry peer review. And he's referred myself, because he works in the company that I work for as well. He's referred me to Engineers Australia to review his work. So I got his reports and everything, and I reviewed it, and then I pretty much certified that he did what he wrote that he did. So for that, it's a volunteer work that I do for Engineers Australia. I can get a few hours of continuing professional development against obviously my CPD. So you can use that if you did, let's say that in your home country, you participated in the Engineering Institute, for example, or if you participated in committees, if you provided mentorship to other engineers, you can use that as part of your CPD event as well. Example number 6, private study. So this is something that I'm also going to share with you, some bonus tips. So stay with me until the end, and I'm going to give you some other tips how you can get more CPD even if you are not working as an engineer. So stay with me. So the private study, and you guys, if you're not working as an engineer still, probably the private study is the one that you can mostly build up your CPD while you are here in Australia. Because obviously if you are in a home country, perhaps you're still working as an engineer, and then obviously there's much more opportunities for you to build up your continuing professional development events. But if you are here and not work as an engineer, private study is probably your best chances to build up your CPD. For example, I'll give you my example as private study. We are currently delivering a project to jack up a bridge. We are doing some rehabilitation in a bridge, and we are jacking that bridge up. So the time that I spend in studying the jacking procedures, technical specifications, they do count as CPD hours. So let's say that I read the technical specifications or the procedures for like 1 hour or 2 hours. I can use those 2 hours, for example, as part of my CPD as private study. I was reading the technical specifications, I was reading and studying the jacking procedures, and that is obviously improving my technical knowledge. So that's why I can use that as private study. And there are many other private studies that you can do. So I mentioned already about reading technical specifications, technical standards, technical magazines. If you read technical magazines, if you go to Engineers Australia website, you can read a lot of technical articles, and those ones, they potentially they could serve as your CPD as well. And don't forget that as per the Engineers Australia booklet, I'm just going to go here. So let's say 5, private study. Yeah. As per the Engineers Australia booklet, the CPD should not be more than 1 A4 page. And it's not necessary to attach copies of the certificates of each course. So yeah, just remember that. And now I'm going to give you some bonus tips how you can build up your CPD, so your continued professional development. So for that, I'm going to share, well, I have to access the website. So just going there, and while I access the website, I will show you my new website. That is my brand new website that I'm developing. As you can see, that's the Engineers in Australia website. I'm using this picture in the background as kind of as the picture of all my websites now. So kind of I can create a benchmark. So every time that you see this very long bridge, you will relate to Engineers in Australia. And I'm also using other pictures from other engineering fields. I'll see if it's working. I'll show you guys. So when you type in www.engineersinaustralia.com, you will come to my page. And obviously, my website is your pathway to become an engineer in Australia. And there's a button here for you to register in the next free workshop, Engineering Qualification Validation. So when you do this, what happens is that you will open up the registration page. You just need to put your email address and your first name. And then there are a few ticks that you can probably, that helps me to personalize the communication with you. I'm Brazilian, I'm living in Brazil, I'm living in Australia, I'm living elsewhere, and then register now. Very, very important. Let's say I will register my name. Let's say I'm Brazilian and I'm living in Australia. So when I say register now, nothing is working because I already registered that email. Oh no, it is working. So it says here to check your email to confirm your workshop registration. So what you need to do is to go to your email inbox and check your email, because you will receive an email where there is a button, and in this button it says confirm your registration. And once you click on that button, I received the email. I'm going to click. It's not showing to you, but it opens up another box, which is this one. Well, so once you click in the button in your email, it says that your registration is confirmed. Very important that if you don't click on the button in your email, your registration is not going to be finalized, and you will not receive the links to the videos, and you're not going to be receiving my emails about the workshop. So very important for you to confirm your registration. All right, so I'll go back home to home and see what happens. So that is the home page again. Where is that? No. Confirm your workshop registration. No. Yeah, that's home. Where is that? Yes. So what's got in my page? Here I talk about the live sessions that I do every Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Then you can watch, obviously, from my YouTube channel, Instagram, and Facebook. I explain a little bit what I talk about in these live sessions. Here's another button that it's going to be very useful if you can help me. Send me your top 3 questions, suggestions for future live sessions. Obviously, because I do these live sessions every week, sometimes I run out of... I've got a lot of subjects that I can talk about, but it would be good if you tell me what are your top 3 questions. So if you click on this button, it will open up a SurveyMonkey questionnaire with just 3 questions. Very simple. The first one, let's say, I'm a civil engineer, and what are your top 3 questions? And then here you can type in your top 3 questions. And then, are you thinking about migrating to Australia? And then there are a few options. And here it's optional, but if you want to leave your email address, I will reply those questions to you directly. But very important that when you send me your 3 questions, I know what is your point of the validation process that's not quite clear. And then obviously I can put those subjects as part of my live sessions in the future, or I can even record a special video just to address questions that are more popular or more relevant. So how you go to those questionnaire again? You go to my page and then scroll down a little bit and then send me your top 3 questions, suggestions for future live sessions. You keep scrolling down. You can join the Telegram group as I mentioned to you. Here are some testimonies from my online mentoring students. You can watch at your leisure. And then if you haven't registered to the next workshop again, you can click on that button and then it will take to the registration page. Then you go to the About page. Let's see, I don't know if I finished that page yet. I think I did. It's taking a little while to open up. Maybe because it's a brand new page, so it's kind of still loading all the pictures and everything. But it's taking unusual time. Sorry for that. Hopefully it will open up. So about us, yes, I put some gears here for the mechanical engineers. And there's a little bit of a story. Why did I create the website? Some of the numbers that I've got more than 150 videos. I've got 26 years of experience as an engineer. And my website has got more than almost 2,000 subscribers. And then a little bit about myself, a little bit about my story. And then obviously another opportunity for you to register to the free workshop. All right, but I came here so I can show you how you can accrue some CPD. So how you can do that? If you go to Engineers Australia website, then, and I strongly encourage you guys to go to Engineers Australia website and browse a little bit. So there are a few webinars. So there's a lot of webinars there. Some of them, they are free. So let's have a look at this webinar here. It's going to happen 15th of March, which is tomorrow, between 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Virtual power plants. So that's probably for electrical engineers or electronic engineers. So this particular one, there's a little bit of cost, $50 for members and $59 for non-members. So, and they explain what virtual power plants are. So let's go back and see if we can find any free webinar. This is a very interesting one. How Engineers Australia can assist overseas qualified engineers. So this is really good and very relevant to us. It's going to be tomorrow as well, between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Registration closes tomorrow, just before the webinar. And looks like it's going to be free because there's no cost included here. So there are few speakers. I actually already participated in few of these very same event, How Engineers Australia can assist overseas qualified engineers. So that's a good webinar for you guys to attend. Looks like it's going to be free, and it says here you can accrue 1 hour CPD hours. So I encourage you guys to register for the event and make sure that you keep the log of this event there. So what else? In Engineers Australia website, you can kind of accrue more CPD. Engineers Australia also, they have the colleges, and as you can see, they've got biomedical, chemical, civil, electrical, mechanical, leadership and management, information telecommunications and electronics engineering, environmental, structural. So let's say chemical. Let's have a look. So they've got few things there. Let's say publication and resources. They've got Engineers Australia technical journals. Click here to see. Let's have a click and see what they've got there. Australian Journal of Civil Engineering, Engineer Education, Mechanical Engineering. They've got, doesn't look like they've got any for chemical engineer, but let's have a look at electrical and electronics engineering. So volume 17, let's say issue number 4. Let's see what opens up. And then there are some articles. I'm not sure if they are free or not. Let's click at this first one. Yeah, there's some abstract. You can log in. Now you gotta log in. And then you've got some cost here. So those ones are not free. But there is the abstract. You can probably have a look, and then you can browse around. You can read about the authors. Yeah, but in this particular case, you need to log in to access. But I invite you to have a look and browse around and find technical specifications, articles. One good thing, I spoke about legislation. So if you put Workplace Health and Safety Act 2011, you will find that is the federal legislation. So I encourage you guys to go to your state and get the safety legislation of your state. I live in Queensland, so I'm going to open up the Queensland Act, and it's got a lot of pages, but it's really important for you to understand the safety legislation. So I encourage you guys to have a quick look at the legislation. let's say here some of the definitions are really important. Let's see if I can find a good one here. And the first is the definition: act to provide comprehensively for work health and safety, to provide for a new definition of asbestos in particular legislation, and for a work health and safety levy, to amend other legislation as a consequence, and to amend the Workers' Compensation and Rehabilitation Act 2003 for particular purposes. So the object of the act, and obviously there's a lot of reading that you can do, and the reading of this legislation can actually be part of your continuing professional development. All right, do you guys have any particular question there? I'll show you guys as well the website of the Board of Professional Engineers here in Queensland, because it's quite useful, and it's got some technical papers as well that you guys can read, and then accrue some CPD. So I think you go to resources, let's say e-news. So I'm actually registered as a RPQ here in Queensland. I'm a professional engineer of Queensland. I think you can, let's say, you can read, that's a February edition of the board magazine. So then you can read all the articles. Let's see if there any, let's say here, upcoming CPD courses and conferences. So if you want to do courses and conferences, there are a list of the courses that are coming up. Some of them are free, others you have to pay. Talks about the Professional Engineering Act reform, the new president of the board, and new RPQs. Yeah, but the interesting bit is the upcoming CPD courses. So bridge maintenance and repair practices for those that are bridge engineers or they are civil engineers. So there's a coming up event about this course. They don't really, is hosted by the Institute of Public Works, Engineering and Architecture in Queensland. So I encourage you guys to really try to find a course that is relevant for you guys. Okay, I'm going to have a quick chat, quick check how my post is going in Instagram. See if I've got any engagement, any likes or comments. Please consider accessing the post, liking the post and making some comments so I can produce the PDF and send to Telegram. And the second half of the password is going to be development. So I already said what was going to be, or what is the first half of the password, and the second half is development. So if I post this PDF in Telegram, you just need to join the first half and the second half, all in small letters, and your PDF will open up. If you haven't watched the beginning of the live session to get the first half of the password, yeah, you have to watch the replay. But I've said the first half of the password many times, so shouldn't really be a problem. And the second half is development. So if you're interested again in the free workshop, Engineering Qualification Validation in Australia, where in 1 week I'm going to teach you how you can start your validation process, make sure that you register to the free online workshop. If you're watching on Instagram, you can go to the link in my bio. Once you click in there, I think the first button is the one that you can register to the event. If those ones in Facebook and YouTube, I pasted the link in the comments. So guys, I hope that this information about the CPD was useful and you can complete your CPD events, which will then help you towards your engineering qualification validation. And if you have any question, please put in the comments or send me a direct message in Telegram or Messenger, or send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to reply and to talk to you. And if you have any other suggestions about future videos or lives, please also send me a message. And I would certainly like to thank you guys very much for your participation. I will be here again next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time, with a live session number 91. The theme I'm still going to decide during the week, but I will publish in my social media. So guys, thank you very much for your participation. I'm just going to have a quick check. No questions there. And I hope to see you there next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.